Good afternoon friends, this is Yagya deo and I am presenting Yagya deo as well as Mobishala for the UPSC examination preparation. We will discuss the UPSC GS paper 2 which is important in UPSC examination as well as BPSC and UPPSC examination. So we should discuss in detail about what are the political features of a nation, how a state is formed, what is a written document of rule of law, that is constitution. In some countries there are unwritten constitution. So in this series we will discuss about all the important topics of polity that are asked in the competitive examination in terms of MCQs, previous year questions and mains related questions also. So myself Yagya deo and I have secured 6 attempts in UPSC, and after that I started teaching for UPSC aspirants. Now starting this series of Yagya deo, we see that there is certain questions that are asked. So look at this question first. What right company achieved to govern India from Mughals? We saw that when the British East India Company arrived in India around 1600, then there was John Hawkins who achieved the right to trade from the court of Jahangir. He was Mughal emperor. After that, what happened which led to the working of British as a form of government? So we see that various battles were fought with the so-called Mughal rulers against the Maratha warriors. Then in northern India there was a battle of Buxar in 1764 on which Shah Alam II was defeated by the Governor General Clive, who was the Governor General of Bengal, and after the defeat he get the right of Diwani. उसे दीवानी की right मिल गई, and which was a claim to have the revenue power as well as the judicial power over certain form of area. So in this question option second is the correct option, that is Diwani right, that is civil justice as well as revenue right, which was achieved by Shah Alam II after the Battle of Buxar War, and in which Shah Alam II was defeated by Lord Clive's army. Lord Clive was the Governor General of Bengal and he achieved the Diwani right, after which he got the judicial control over the power, over the rights and over the decision making on the part of Indian people. Secondly, he also get the control over the entire northern India. So he was Governor General of Bengal and also he controlled the Madras and other parts of the country. Then in 1773 we see that Lord Warren Hastings came and who formed the Regulating Act of India, in which he created a separate documentation, that is Regulating Act, which governs the entire territory of Madras, Bombay and other provinces of Bengal. So he indirectly controlled the entire territory of India. Now coming to the next part. So Robert Clive's strategy was to achieve the Diwani right, that is first. Second, the Nijamat right, which also he achieved after getting victory in the Battle of Buxar. In this victory, he achieved the control of United Provinces and he also get the control over the parts of Western India, in the parts of Sindh and in the part of Punjab, Madras, Hyderabad, Bihar, Bengal and Assam, as well as the United Provinces. So the British Empire stretched its arm to various parts under Lord Clive. Remember this, very important. Then comes the Warren Hastings, who composed 1773 Regulating Act, and under Regulating Act there was control over to the all the parts around India. So we see that dual government of Bengal was established. Okay, and Nizam-ud-Dawla did not have treasury but responsibility. So Nizamuddaulah was surrendered to the British crown, and Britishers started ruling in across all the parts of the country. So next question is, which part of Indian Constitution is called as the soul of the Constitution? So this question has been previously asked by the UPSC in previous year question. What part of the Indian Constitution, whether it is part 1 or part 4, that is DPSP, or part 1, that is name of the state. So name of the state, or it is DPSP, or it is citizenship, or preamble. So correct answer is preamble. Preamble is the correct answer, in which we saw that there was provision in the केशवानंद भारती केस. केशवानंद भारती केस में हम देखते हैं कि preamble को गवर्नमेंट Supreme Court of India declares that preamble is the soul of the Constitution, as it contains the philosophy and ethical values to govern the land of India. इंडिया को गवर्न करने के लिए जो भी philosophical underpinnings हैं, Gandhian principle, Nehruvian principle, liberal intellectual principle, as well as the doctrines of basic structure that is formed in the preamble, which guides that we the people of India, having solemnly resolved to constitute India into a sovereign, that is self-governed, and socialist, that means is follow the philosophy of socialism. Then secular, that means state do not have any particular religion, rather it is neutral in its orientation. Neutral in religion. And a democratic republic. Democratic means rule of people by people's representative. We will look into detailed part of democracy. What are the functions of democracy? How democracy works as a principle and guiding force in making rules, laws and regulations for the welfare of citizens across the country. And again the republic, that is guided by the rule of law of people. So secure the citizen of the India in terms of justice, by which we secure the people of India justice. That means a quest of truth, and therefore there will be just behavior, there equal remuneration for different works, and justice in terms of social, that means no discrimination, caste, religion or racial or any kind of no discrimination should be there. So there should be social, economic and political justice. Political justice means people should have right to vote, people should have universal adult franchise under which every person who is above 18 years of age can vote for the democratic right. That is a political right. Then economic right, that means inclusive economic model. Therefore, India has a welfare state model in which government plans and promote equalitarian distribution of wealth, resources and distribution of each and every people to the basic facilities such as electricity, water, health, sanitation, livelihood, nutrition, and which are again a part described in the directive principle in part 4 of the Constitution. So it begins its origin in the preamble itself, and then it provides liberty to the people of India. That means liberty of thought, expression, belief, faith and worship. It means if people are having different kind of religious orientation, if someone is following Buddha, someone is following Jaina, someone is Sikh, someone is Vaishnavite, they can carry their religious without any discrimination or any kind of disturbances from the other communities. Next part goes for the equality. It means that the state should behave equally and give the equality in terms of opportunity for the people of different caste and class and status, and promote them all in the equal opportunities in various public sector enterprises. Therefore, reservation has certain manifestation to provide equality and opportunity to the deprived and downtrodden sections of Indian society. Then comes the fraternity to dignity and individual's life. So, fraternity means living in harmony. It is again a value concept, that is doctrine of harmony, living in harmony and peace. So, mutual coexistence with harmony with different religions, different caste, different kind of organizations in Indian society. So, that is fraternity and unity and integrity of the nation, that promotes the unity of India. That is, India is a diverse territory, as we see in this part, that India covers a huge part of its territory. So, we should take concern of the overall parts of India with unity and diversity, with people with different cultures, different kind of orientation, fooding habits, different kind of behaviors, different kind of rituals, ceremonies, different kind of festivals. Still there is a unity in terms of national flag, in terms of nationality, in terms of orientation, national anthem, national symbol. So, that are the features which unite India as a territory. So, that was adopted and enacted on the 26th day of November 1949 by Jawaharlal Nehru, and that was a part of the Indian Constitution. And under Keshavananda Bharati case, 42nd Amendment was there. So, there was Keshavananda Bharati case, a famous case, and what is called? It is called as the Meaning Constitution, and it led to the creation of addition of secular feature in the preamble of Indian Constitution, addition of secular as a part of preamble of Indian Constitution. Okay, so it is added in the Constitution. So, coming to the next part, we see that we enter into the syllabus of polity, which describes the historical underpinnings, how the acts were formulated under the Mughal government, then under the Diwani right, how the government switched to the different kind of panorama where the rights were provided to the British territories, British governments, and Warren Hastings created a regulating act. Then there comes the Pitt's India Act of 1784, which divided the board of director, board of control, and court of director. Then 1833 Act was there, which again created a new form of office for the Governor General of Bengal as the Governor General of India. There was William Bentinck. So on. There was historical pinnings. Then civil service was created. Then Magna Carta of Education was created, and Macaulay's Minutes are there. So these are all parts of creation of Indian law and order after the independence. So what are the evolutionary parts that we see here? Then there is again features, amendments, and significant provisions and the basic structure. UPSC frequently asks that what are the basic features of the Indian constitutions. UPSC अक्सर basic features पूछती है friends. So that again make you a functions and responsibility of a union and the states, issues the challenges pertaining to the federal structure. What are the federal features of Indian constitution? How the country of India is a country of unity in diversity, and it is composition of various states across the territory of India, and they all combine together to form a federal state of India. So it is called as Union of India, rather a federal state, although it has states domination under 7th schedule, in which we have 3 lists: union list, state list and concurrent list. So concurrent list as well as the state list are part of the state's right on which state can work on its police, on taxations, on various kind of travels, various kind of security issues, so on and so forth. So finances up to local level, which we see recommendations of the 15th Finance Commission, challenges what are there in the government. Then there is separation of power, which is guaranteed under Article 15(1)(51). So there is separation of power, not 51, but there is discrimination between legislature, executive and judiciary. So various organs dispute redressal mechanism is there, and there are institutions, comparison of the Indian Constitution and such part of Constitution. So these are the parts. And then there is Parliament and state legislature, which we will look into the Indian Constitution and how Parliament works for the Union as well as the state government. Parliament has what parts? Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. Now it is called together as a Sansad, and how these bodies acting as a legislative part make rules for the governing of Indian democracy, and how Rajya Sabha works as the upper house, what are the requirements, what were the excuses that were made necessary to curtail the power of Rajya Sabha with comparison to the Lok Sabha, what is different kind of bills, financial bills and money bills, which is again frequently asked in the UPSC. Also we look into the conduct of business, power and privileges, issues arising out of the various bodies. Then there is structure, organization and functions of executive ministers, department of government and the judiciary. Pressure groups are there, and formal and informal association and their role in the polity. What is the formal as well as informal association? What is the role in the judiciary about the formal association? And what are the salient features of the Representation of People Act RPA 1951, under which there is again a case of defection laws. Then there is issue of criminalization of politics, which is again frequently asked in UPSC question. Criminalization of politics. Further, we see that appointment to various constitutional posts, CAG, CVC, Election Commission of India, Comptroller and Auditor General of India, and Chief Vigilance Commission of India, which looks into the vigilance matter, then Comptroller and Auditor General of India, which looks into the auditing and compilation of accounts of the Government of India and public sector enterprises, Panchayati Raj institutions, state government, government offices, how the expenditures are being made, where the budget allocation has been appropriated to the proper norms or not, that are all part of the Comptroller Auditor General of India. Then there are functions of these bodies, इनकी responsibilities क्या हैं, how they act in coherence to fulfill the responsibilities in order to fulfill the demand of the Government of India. Then there is constitutional bodies, statutory bodies and regulatory bodies, how these bodies works, what are the functions that are delivered through these kind of bodies in Indian Constitution, in Indian Parliament, and how people get benefited out of it. So this part is also tackled. Then there are quasi-judicial bodies. What are the quasi-judicial bodies? That are semi-government in nature and they have certain jurisdiction also. That means they make laws, rules and regulations also. Further, there are government policies, interventions for development in various sectors and issues arising out of their design and implementation, again that are part of parliamentary democracy. Okay, then we should look into the parts of sources, that is what are the sources of Indian Constitution, how we study the Constitution, how you get exact knowledge about what to study, what to leave, and how you will score much and more with me as well as our team, so that you can get the exact related topics and relevancy in learning the Indian polity. So there are NCRTs, which are the most basic books for that matter. Then there is DD Basu along with the Lakshmikant. M. Lakshmikant is a benchmark book for learning. Then there is again a book that is Subhash Kashyap, which you should also study for Indian polity. And there is Judgments of Supreme Court of India, that makes a part of the learning the questions. Then there are various issues which revolve around the Indian polity in terms of federalism. So that constitute the sovereignty, boundary, demography, state. In terms of federalism, there is federal features. Then there is type of governments, that is monarchy and dictatorial and democratic form of government. So in monarchy kind of government we see that during the period of French Revolution, which led to underpinning of principle of Indian polity, there was three class. The entire society was divided into three class. That was clergy, comprising of king, churches, then nobility, that means learned aristocrats, and there are commoners. So they all constitute the three state of French society, in which we see that there was lot of taxes and people were struggling with difference in the taxes, their future, their life kind of challenges. They have lots of debt over the French society. Then there was a revolt against the king, and there was revolt that leads to assassination of the king. That was a French Revolution. Oh, that was again motivated from the thoughts of Rousseau, who said that man is born free but everywhere in chain. Then there was idea of Kant. Then there was Montesquieu. Then there was Hegel, who propounded the individualism, that how individuals should work and what is the duty of state with respect to individual as well as the communities. So state has no right over individual's will. Individual is free to take decision. He has fundamental rights. He has his own choices of decision making that govern the part of individual's right, and does discriminate over the state's intervention part against the individual. So that is again a part of it. Then there is a Renaissance period in which there was various kind of scientific researches made. Subjects such as sociology emerged, physics, chemistry, maths, geography emerged during the period of Renaissance, and people started questioning over the various existing structures of the society. People started thinking that why this is going in this way, why churches are collecting the taxes, why king has been enjoying so much of facilities. For that matter, the queen was eating a golden plate, and where the people and peasants were suffering against the bread. So that was one of the famous quote of the French Revolution. And there was again various kind of guillotining of the upper class, clergy and nobility, which we will look into detail in the various parts. Then look into the question that what is the best form of government. So options are as follow. First is monarchy. Is it a king and queen based government which is best? Or is it a dictatorial form of government such as the Hitler kind of government which is totalitarian in nature, which takes decision on its own against the people? And the next is a democratic form of government. So the correct answer is democratic form of government. Second is democracy. So in this way we will continue our lecture to look into the various issues governing the fundamental principles of polity, what are underpinnings, what we should read for the UPSC, what are representation at various level, what is kind of justice, what is democracy, and all these things in upcoming lectures. So keep watching and enjoy our lecture. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat.